Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here. The gacha system is quite confusing and a lot of you have been requesting for me to make a dive in these kind of videos. One thing that I want to say is in beta, usually the things that remain consistent I will cover in this video, and I'll tell you towards the end of the video what is maybe like subjected to change based on my experience covering tons of betas over the last 5 years of games that have went public as well. So long story short, the game is divided, gacha system and how you play the game, into two parts. One, the Eidos, the characters, these are your flashy characters. And two are the pets, which are called the Nexus Animas. So there's two different banners for each of them. Your objective, of course, is to pull a 5-star. And from what we see here, these are permanent banners. Out of all of the characters that you see that we have on the channel gameplay-wise, all of them so far appear to be standard. So far from my experience, usually if they are mentioned to be standard, they likely won't be limited later on. What is the difference? Basically, standard means they will always be there. Limited means they're only for a time. They might come back in future, might take a while to come back. I will talk about who I think will be limited later on. But all this information is super confusing. And some of you don't have the game engine to toggle yourself. So what I did was I built a quick site here. Is free for everyone to use. You can go in here, EODDB.com. The link is in the video description and pinned comment if you just want to click and just mess around yourself. But otherwise, if you're too lazy to do that, don't worry, follow me through. You will find that there's a lot of information from me going through it as well. And it might be even easier. So one thing, first of all, each Eidos, you can see here, there are 5-star rarities as well as there are 4-star rarities. So far, there aren't like 3-star rarities. If you play a lot of other gacha games, the Eidos, the character part of things is very simple. Basically, each of them have like multiple copies you can get, but the base copy works very fine. Multiple copies might give them special effects, and each of the Eidos, let's go into the Eidos section here, basically fall under the different categories, and they buff your team based on that certain aspect. So each of them have like a certain cast time of each card. So they form as like cards that interfere with play. So if you see like a lot of the other videos that we have on our channel, as the Nexus Anima fight themselves, these cards charge up at a certain rate. All these data is on the site as well. You can filter them and sort them and see. They have certain energy costs, very similar to a lot of the other games, and generally the 5-star ones are a little bit more powerful, the 4-star ones are not as powerful. So these are important because the aspects, synergies that they have pretty much buffs the Nexus Anima that you are playing. So if you have, for example, if you got lucky and you pulled Olympia, for example, she buffs the aspect, which is dark, and she buffs her companion, which is Noctumbra. So these are all things that matter quite a bit. So if we go back in the expert section here, you can just click on the character and I show which is the characters that get buffed. Noctumbra is in this case, the character, the unit that is getting buffed. And all of them have a companion. So you can go ahead and filter all of them. Let's just do like, for example, let's filter some 5-stars. So you can see each of them are in certain paths, like in certain areas, and each of them have a corresponding 5-star that they are buffing. So think of it this way, like 5-star characters have like 5-star pets, 4-star characters generally a 4-star pet, and so on and so forth. And putting them in the same path you want to play around is better. So how they would likely sell future gacha banners, again, this is a lot of it is also subjective. This game is still in beta. I'm adding in a lot of my contextual knowledge of Hoyoverse games and a lot of other gacha games, how things turned out after beta and before beta. Usually what will happen is these characters that are standard will likely stay standard. Usually from what we see, these units more or less set. My guess is there will be new limited characters that will come up that they will test in the subsequent beta, the final beta, just a few months before it goes live. My guess is one of the characters likely is going to be put out. You can see on the channel is Carol, my guess, because she looks very, very well designed already. Another one could be the last Novak, the one that appears in the cutscene that you saw on the video when it appeared right at the start of the game. One of the Novaks will likely probably be one of the limited characters. That's just my overarching guess. And the next question some of you have is animas. What's the point of all these animas? Because you have these animas and a lot of the 5-stars are, a lot of the free 5-stars can be obtained from the overworld. For example, this is a 5-star unit, this is a 5-star unit, and so just remember this bird-looking thing and this, I don't know what the heck that is kind of thing. And then we go into the banners over here, and if you go in the preview, this thing here is right here, and you have this bird thing is also right here. So the banner has all of these 5-star units that can be gotten from the overworld. And for example, like Noctumbra, which is the pet of one of the characters, Olympia as well, is also in the banner. This is, in my opinion, a standard banner, and every single character basically has additional copies that you can pull which buff the abilities. So it's very, very confusing to like show you one by one. It's going to take up a lot of your time as well. So you can just come into the Nexus Anima section here, and every single unit that has something unique that pops up. For example, we have, there's even like a description of what it does. Let's do, for example, I'm finding anyone that reduces healing. So I can just click Deep Wounds filter, and you would see every single character. Let's just put 5-star Deep Wounds. Every single 5-star unit that has some sort of anti-heal mechanic. And you can see this unit here is a bit small, but on mobile, and I can zoom in on the computer as well. Mobile is a lot larger, but Deep Wounds appears at the second copy. So you pull one, and then you pull the second one. This character will then have some sort of anti-lifesteal. A lot more is going to be added. This is just very early days. This is only like 7 days into the beta so far, or maybe even like 6, the end of the 6th day. You can do a lot of things. I can even filter, for example, I want units that have crowd control. Maybe units that crowd control, and on top of that, I want them to have crowd control and deep wounds. So this unit here has both crowd control and deep wounds at a second copy. So that's how multiple pulls on the banner matter a lot. Some of you are wondering, oh, EOD, then 5 stars, since you can get them free, you don't need additional copies. Some 5 stars, if you're planning to like whale really large, I do see opportunities for gameplay to change, especially if you look at 5 stars with control. A very interesting one for me is Ceroplumeth, which is the pet of PenultimatePenPen. You can filter that through like the aspects and click on PenultimatePenPen. This is her pet, and this gains a very strong AoE control with the second additional copy. So stuff like this do change the meta up a little bit. But of course, so far from what we're seeing, it's all PvE. The only PvP you have is with friends, and on the channel here, if you join our Discord, part of our community, we'll organize tournaments that prevent pay to win, but also maybe encourage and have some tournaments for pay to win, all pets allowed. So there's many different things that we can do with this. If you're worried about like it being pay to win, don't worry. Join our community as well. We will have a lot of people that help you try to save as much resources as you can. That's what our channel generally does, a resource efficient channel. So this is quite good. If you're planning to form your team compositions and building your teams around, you can use this general framework to start moving around to reduce your need on the gacha. So regardless of what gacha comes out, this is meant to help you, because 4 stars, all you need to do really is like go into the overworld, farm the 4 stars. So for those of you who are wondering how do you get like additional copies of 4 stars, you need to like go around, battle this, and catch multiple copies of them. When you catch multiple copies of them, you would level them up. You will have like tokens to unlock, so you will unlock more, and then this is like a fully unlocked pet over here as well from Mamba. And the gacha system kind of accelerates it. So sometimes you fail in this gacha, let's say you don't get your 5-star, you might get, for example, 4-star units like from Mamba 4-star. So this kind of like accelerates your rate of catching. You don't have to go in the overworld to catch, and over time, if you keep pulling, you'll get a lot. But arguably speaking, it's a lot more friendlier because you don't have to pull on these. It's like a weapon banner in a sense. You don't really need the 4-star weapons, pets, so to speak, because you can get a lot of them from the overworld, play with like full 4-star teams. Whereas the Eidos are similar to characters where they are quite vital because they dictate and they boost the teams that you play with severely, very, very strongly. So it's still the same. Your gacha is going to be mainly focused here on the characters, which would then incentivize you to play certain team compositions. You can play with, for example, again, if let's say you don't really know what's going on right now, if let's say I super love the character design of PenultimatePen maybe, she is in reality, you have even a 4-star counterpart, so I could play with both of them to be like a reality main. So you can see what has like 1 4-star, 1 5-star. So double reality buffing my team as well. I can play with all of these units over here, and I can just go into the pet section. Let's say I'm forming my team composition. I'm looking for tanks. Tanks generally are your protectors, your bruisers are your explorers, blasters, masterminds are your damage dealers, mascots are your supports. I can just go in here and filter, and I see only 5 stars that I want to build my team comp around, and there are actually like 3 reality characters that I can already form around. So it's really, really solid. And back in the aspect section, I can see I only just need like 2 reality to form my team composition. So it's a quick, easy fix to go around. And we have, of course, tons of other videos on the channel to give you more information to get started. This is my way of sharing. I know not everyone gets access to the beta, but hopefully you can find this resource very helpful as well. And ask me any more questions. I'll be happy to cover more content while the beta is still ongoing and beyond as well. But yeah, let me know. See you guys in the next video.